Hello, this is Amanda Eliasch reporting from Actors Reporter, isn't it? Actors Reporter at AFM 2013. I'm actually showing my film here called The Gun, the Cake and the Butterfly, which I wrote for women, about women, and especially women over 40 years old. And it's really our dreams, our thoughts, our lives, it's poetry, and I wrote it for my father, and he loved it, but he said don't do it until we're all dead. So now I'm here 5 years after his death. Thank you very much. How do you do? Good.
How do you do, Amanda?
Amanda Eliasch.
Eliasch, I
Yes.
say. And this is Actors Reporter
Yes.
and Live Video Inc.'s coverage of the American Film Market, the Actors Reporter,
Yeah,
Live Video
yes, yes,
Inc.,
it's fantastic.
and the AFM 2013. What year are we in? 2013.
2013.
And this is the 34th year they've done this,
Fantastic.
which is longer than you and I have been alive.
Of course.
Of course. And I
And as far as
understand.
they're concerned, that's all that we're going to know.
Exactly, and I love your cologne, and you do fashion.
Yes.
Are you taking a picture of us?
Yes.
Really? How are we going to do this?
We're going to do it.
Oh, I see.
Can you take a
Could
picture
you
of
take?
me the
Yeah,
other way
just
round?
because we're can we get this picture from behind the scenes?
Yes, behind
I mean,
the scenes.
we got to show this to somebody. Twitter it, Facebook it, be social
Yes,
with
and
this.
Be social.
Yes. So your film is about what?
My life.
Your life.
Which is quite cheeky, really, because I didn't expect to do it. But
So when you're saying cheeky, I'm guessing you're not from Des Moines.
no.
Okay.
So basically, it's a film of my life, which it was a play that I wrote for my father.
Okay.
And then when all the women were complaining that they couldn't make films, I decided to contribute to the number of women and increase them by one. And so,
Nice.
And so, without never having made a film before, but having gone to RADA, which is the best drama school in London, I decided to give my all to this film called The Gun, the Cake and the Butterfly.
Why that name? Why that title?
Because my favorite film is The Cook, the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover, which is a Peter Greenaway film.
Yes.
And I suppose I like sort of unusual films, and I like 2 or 3 titles. I've done 2 books of poetry, one called Sins of a Butterfly and one called Cloak and Dagger Butterfly. So I thought it was fun to add
You
it
have
to
a thing for butterflies,
Yes.
I'm beginning to think.
And
What is that?
My thing for butterflies is that they're free.
Ah,
They're free.
In
I've got
spirit.
a butterfly on here.
where else do you have butterflies?
Yes, so I've always loved them. They're free, you know.
Yes.
They don't last very long, but they're free. And
Butterflies,
I like that
and it's interesting you brought that up because butterflies, as I understand, have a very short
Yes, they
life
do.
period. It's like some are
But
only a week.
But they're so beautiful.
Yes, they are. Now
They-
you brought a poster of the actual film,
Yeah, I've got a piece.
secretly hidden here.
Well, it's not a poster, but anyway, here's the pamphlet. I've won
Okay.
quite a few awards, which I'm very proud of because I've never made a film before.
Now, what is the gun, the cake, and the butterfly about?
The Can is my life from a child till now, a mixture of documentary and a written script.
And a documentary.
With 2 people, with my alter ego. So you know how we
Oh,
always
so
want to be
this
somebody else.
other person is not your twin; it's your alter ego.
Yes, and
Interesting
so-
that she is a brunette and you're a
Yes.
blonde. Yes.
Well, because we all have different experiences, and I
Yes.
like the idea that I could possibly be a brunette and
Okay.
then turn to a blonde, and maybe have curly hair, and maybe be overweight, maybe be thin. We're all different things, aren't we?
Nice. Are you
So-
coming back as a redhead ever?
Anyone you never know.
Okay, just check it. That'll be the sequel. Me,
That
the
would
redhead
be-
butterfly.
Exactly. So then I was really happy because having never made a film before, I then win a whole lot of awards,
You
which I
certainly
didn't expect.
did. My goodness, New Media Film Festival,
yes.
Los Angeles, New York City International Film Festival. What are the rest of these?
Ischia Global Film Festival, the Lena Wertmüller Prize, who was the first woman to be nominated for the Oscar.
Really?
Yes, but
Ever?
she didn't win it. Yes, she's the first woman ever.
But she broke the ground to at least
Yes,
be nominated.
exactly. She was one of the first women, and she's fantastic. She's Italian, and she chose it for the Ischia
What
Global
year
Film
was
Festival.
this?
I think it must be about 1960 or late 60s,
It was
early
that
70s.
late before a woman was nominated?
Yes, I think so. I
Wow,
might
that's
be completely
tragic.
wrong, so please ring
And
in.
here I thought it was like 1916 or something.
And then I just won the Best Audience Award and Best Editing in Bel Air. And all these, it's not about winning Toronto, Cannes, or Venice, which of course I'd love to do one day. But
Right.
but it's about a start.
Right.
And you have to start somewhere, and it's been an incredible project. And you know, I didn't even think I would even make a film. So I've made a film, and I really love doing it.
Now, is it my memory correct? You have a French distributor for the film?
No, I haven't got any distribution at the moment. I'm looking for
so
it.
that
That's why I'm here.
gentleman who's shadowing you.
Yeah, we've got loads of people interested, but
Yeah,
it's
I
just
see
that
that.
where the
They're following you around here.
Yes,
So
exactly.
now the film, this is your first time making one, and hold it, did you win a BAFTA also?
No.
Okay.
There's the man from Nigel Daly who's the president of BAFTA.
Well, the fact that he's endorsing it and he's the president of
And
BAFTA.
no, more importantly,
Yes.
he's amazing, okay? But my most, the one that I really, really love,
Yes.
which is where is she?
Amanda? Amanda Neville? or-
Marina Abramovic.
Okay.
Who is a performance artist, and she loved it.
Really?
And really, I would not have done it without her, because she's the most extraordinary artist that we have on the planet today, and she said she loved it.
Now, how does it feel seeing your life kind of naked or exposed, if you will, on the screen?
Well, it's quite exciting, you know. It's
Really?
Yes, and I sort of look at it every day, and sometimes I think, oh my God, I hate me. What a ghastly human being you are.
Oh,
and then it's
please.
very ruthless. It's ruthless about me. You know, it shows all the sides of a human being.
So you were real honest in this film.
Yes, it's brutally honest.
And so it's
quite
actually
shocking.
subtitled The Naked Truth.
Yes.
Okay. So this film, and you've gone to these other festivals, obviously, because you wouldn't have gotten the awards if you hadn't.
Yeah.
With all these other festivals you've been to, and film markets, if you will, how does the American film market compare to each of these?
Well, I have to tell you that the Americans have really supported me, because otherwise I wouldn't have won Bel Air, Burbank, New York City,
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles has supported me, and the people within it have supported me, because Nigel Daly's the head of BAFTA in Los Angeles.
Right.
Ed Pressman is one of your greatest producers. David Corder's a producer, but he's in England. And Sally Kirkland, well, she's a Oscar
Joel
nominated,
Schumacher.
And Joel Schumacher.
Oh my
so I
gosh.
don't think, and Joel is an incredible human
Yes,
being, as you know.
absolutely.
So I'm very honored that they like it, because I didn't expect anything from it. I did it really just to see if I could do it.
Now, your background is fashion.
Yeah, well, actually, my background is really art, but I went into fashion because I was walking along the street in Los Angeles, and someone pats me on the back and said, "Do you want to be our fashion editor?" So I said,
That easily.
yes, that easily. So I thought, well, I wanted to be a fashion editor at age 12, so I'll give it a go.
So where were you when somebody just randomly tapped on your shoulder and
Down
said, "Hey, you want to?"
Sunset Boulevard.
Really?
Yes, like Norman Desmond.
So it really is true that dreams can come true
Yes.
in Hollywood.
Absolutely. Otherwise, we'd live very dull lives. So I think what I would love is, by the end of my life, is to have done everything that I wanted to do. And if I want to make a film this year or next year, and I do want to make another one, I want to be able to do it.
What's the next one going to be about?
It's actually a thriller.
Really?
Yes, and it's
Oh.
not very nice. It's a true story about how a prisoner wrote to me every day. He's a fan of my poetry, and he thought somebody was going to be killed, and they actually were.
Oh.
And they were wrapped in a carpet in London.
Oh no.
So yes,
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's a lovely story. So basically, they thought that it was going to happen, and it actually did happen.
Wow.
But I suppose I had a love of film from a very early age. My grandfather was a film director, writer,
What
and
was his
producer,
name?
and his name was called Sidney Gilliat.
Okay.
He did things like The First Lady Vanishes with Hitchcock.
Oh, how do you do, Miss Anderson? How do you do, ladies? It's a great honor to have you with us again.
Nice to see you too, Boris. You haven't changed a bit since last Friday. I see you haven't shaved either. Is everything ready?
Everything is ready. I didn't change anything.
Not even the sheets. We know. Lead on,
He did famous, iconic films like Rake's Progress. They're English films, very British. And I was lucky enough to be brought up with him, because my parents would have divorced, and he had his favorite Lebanese granddaughter, which was me.
Oh, how nice.
Yes.
So you actually got your first taste of the film industry in your family.
Yes.
So you're, in a way, carrying out a family tradition.
Yes.
I see.
Okay, so it's nothing really different from what they would expect, except that probably wouldn't want to be in it. But anyway, they are in it.
So you have written this, you have starred in it and directed it?
Yes, which is quite a tricky
Did you also
thing to do.
produce it?
Yes. I lost the house
And
in
now
it.
she's going to distribute it.
I had 3 houses. I've now got 2 houses because it's bloody expensive doing that.
Oh, it absolutely
yes.
is to do film.
Yes.
For new filmmakers who would like to be, or fashion people who aspire to be where you are right now, what's your advice?
Live a dream. You know, whatever you want to do, put it in your brain and make sure you do it. And it's up to you because we can all we can all create our luck. You know, and I did.
You know, that's interesting you say that because it very much parallels things that I've told people over the years, that a lot of people have a dream or a daydream. I have a vision and I live what I envision.
Yes.
And so it sounds like you're in that similar mode where you're seeing where your reality is going to be and then
Yes.
you take action.
Yes, and also don't say no too many times. You know, even if the job looks very boring and you think, oh my God, I've got to be walking around AFM giving out leaflets. Take the job because you just never know what might happen from that. So it's better to say yes than no, unless, of course, it's in a situation that you'd rather say no. But I think it's better to say yes.
Well, it's interesting because never say no. There was a guy who I literally 2 days ago was getting in my car and he's like asking about, hey, is it really big inside and how's it going? And part of me was like, okay, whatever. And we started talking. And next thing I know, he's talking about you and your film.
Is he?
Yes. And it's a gentleman who, when we just a moment ago were...
Oh, God, how funny.
Yes, and it was him. And he told me about you. And I said, well, we've got to talk to her. And now you're here based on that little meeting of taking a minute, not saying no to a passerby, and having a conversation.
I know, and Zach Gruber is the most amazing writer himself, as well as he works for the Huffington Post, God knows what, does everything.
Hold it, he does?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So he's got many assets too, he wants to do his own
And
things.
see, he never promoted any of that when we talked.
He
was
promoted
only
me.
promoting you and talking about you and
But you
how
know,
I needed to meet you.
Well, because, you know, he's worked so hard on this film. You know, I started this film, I didn't know if I could do it. You know, it's really difficult to make a film. I take my hat off to every person in this
Right.
room. Okay, you could cry sometimes. And it causes a lot of problems in your life, and you might not have the money to do it, and all these things. There are films being made from $2,000 to maybe 200 million, 300 million.
You're correct.
But everyone has a story, and everyone has had to work really hard to do it. And I take my hat off to everybody because, my God, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, and then you have to be here. And to be here is expensive. You know, nothing is easy or cheap. But if you really have a dream, go and do it.
Well, that's very solid advice because waiting for someone to give it to you or having a sense of entitlement, like, why hasn't it happened to me yet, is not going to make the reality.
No, and be as charming, show your charming self at all times, because I think that is probably the biggest bit of advice. Be charming and cheerful, because it's easier. Look, I'm here, and there are a lot of women in here, and there are a lot of people with lots of films to sell, and I'm here with
here.
you.
And I'm here.
Who's very
with you.
very dishy with a man with a lovely red tie.
Oh, God bless you. Wow, what are you doing later? So this is the film, the gun,
the cake, and the butterfly.
And the butterfly. And you should make sure you go see it. Where is it being released, or your shopping distribution now?
It's upstairs in my room.
In your room?
Yes.
What's your room?
My room is just fabulous. It's been designed by the man called Majid, who did Oprah's party. And it's quite extraordinary, covered with...
Oh, you just have everybody working for you. Huffington Post, Oprah's people. Do you have Donald Trump's people working for you too?
I'd love to go and work with Donald Trump. He'd tell me how to make money.
Yeah, he would.
I need to learn how to make money, Nick.
As long as he doesn't say you're fired.
You're fired.
Yes.
Well, that's okay, because you still learn something.
Well, and you get that exposure.
Exactly.
You know,
and you get something
those
else.
who are so worried about always having positive press are missing the fact that they got press at all.
Yes, exactly. And they might never ever been seen.
Right.
And, you know, they can do something with that.
Right. If they're talking about you, at least they care enough to be
Exactly.
talking
And
about you.
even never worry about whether people like you. That's the other bit of advice, because there'll always be somebody that does and somebody that doesn't. Just carry on.
Beautiful advice.
Yes.
Good luck with your film.
Thank you very much.
Thank
indeed.
you so
Thank
very
you.
much.
And thank you.
And we'll be back
Love
with
that.
more. Oh, God bless you. We'll be back with more
Thank you
from
very much, all of you.
2000. 13 AFM. I'm Kurt Kelly for Actors Reporting on Live Video Inc.
Yes, I work in Los Angeles too.
Well, make up your mind. Are you from London or Los Angeles?
I'm from London, but I'm a fashion editor in Los Angeles as well. Like, because all the women were complaining they couldn't do a film, and so I decided to make my own.
Ah, I
Is
see
he
what you're
looking
saying.
good?
No, I'm unbuttoned.
You're not
I'm half naked.
You're not.
It's Half Naked Man. Are we ready? Okay, Half Naked Man is rolling.
So tell me about you. So